With the offseason beginning, we are starting to hear rumors and rumors and rumors. And one of the rumors that I want to talk about today is obviously Cody Bellinger. Like I said, it's one of those things that I know other podcasts have talked about. I'm here to debunk some shit because we're not going to do this year. We are not going to do this year. We are not going backwards. We are moving forwards. And I want to talk about what the Chicago Cubs need to do to move forward. And we will address the Cody Bellinger situation. I also want to address you, the Chicago Cub faithful, and talk to you guys about this whole Milwaukee Brewers thing and how I personally think we need to stay a little bit more classy. Let's talk about it right after this. Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, your number one spot for all things Chicago Cubs. I'm your host, Mike Jones, here to talk with you guys about none other than what? Our team, the Chicago Cubs. That's right. All the rumors, all the news, all the things pertaining to the Chicago Cubs right here. Make sure you make this your number one spot. And go ahead and do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that like button on this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you. Also, guys, we are going to start doing some giveaways here real soon. So we want to make sure that you guys are locked in for that. And also, we do that's a double negative. Anyways, we also enjoy doing our live calls as well as our mailbag episodes during the weekend. So please leave comments underneath the videos, or you can reach out to us at 217-816-5498. Leave a voicemail, or you can write me at cubsbaseball1992@gmail.com. We want to get those mailbag episodes going again since it is the off season. Just creates more content, and obviously you can be a part of the show. Appreciate you guys so much for that. So big news coming out today. Obviously, Bruce Levine was the first one to talk about it on 670 The Score this morning in ESPN 1000 when he spoke of the potential of the Chicago Cubs potentially signing Cody Bellinger to another contract. Cody Bellinger, we all know, signed to the Cubs, opted into a deal. The Cubs then decided to trade Cody Bellinger after that because I guess they had Kyle Tucker in the works. Now we look like, Kyle Tucker's pretty much as good as gone after this season. I mean, I don't foresee Kyle Tucker staying with the Chicago Cubs. I could absolutely be wrong about that, but I do not have the indication. I do not get the inkling that Kyle Tucker will be back in a Chicago uniform. I do want to point out that I did retweet and I did also post to my story on Instagram Kyle Tucker's thank you to the Chicago Cub fans and the organization for this season, for sticking with him and sticking with the team, and for coming out and supporting the team every single night. I thought that was really cool. I went ahead and retweeted it as well as put it up on my Instagram story. I just thought it was really cool that he did that. And we appreciate Kyle Tucker. I mean, it was a hell of a season. Listen, if he comes back, great. If Kyle Tucker is gone, it was a hell of a season. I mean, we had fun, man. It was 92 wins, playoff wild card win. And then, of course, things didn't go our way in the National League Division Series. But, hey, we started the building blocks, I believe, for what we could see the Chicago Cubs team potentially become as a perennial playoff postseason team. And that started with Kyle Tucker. He was a big reason why we did a lot of that. The Cubs could have been a wild card team the year before with Cody Bellinger. However, we were a Seiya Suzuki drop ball away from that happening. So, that's how it goes. But listen, again, the Chicago Cubs did go ahead and, like I said, after Jed Hoyer's press conference yesterday, I went ahead and did that video. Make sure you guys tune into that. If you have missed that already, go ahead and tune into that. But at the same time, we are now talking about Cody Bellinger. Bruce Levine this morning on ESPN 1000, the morning show on Waddle and Sylvie, talked about the potential of Cody Bellinger having a reunion with the Chicago Cubs. And honestly, he sounded a lot more optimistic than I want to be. And I don't even want to necessarily quote him on what he said, because I think it's pie in the sky. You got to have stuff to talk about, stuff to write about. We got spring training isn't until what, February, March. So I mean, like I said, we got we have a lot of time now in between that. So you're going to hear all types of rumors swirling. You will hear some things talked about on this podcast that you may disagree with. You may not disagree with. Please let me know below if you disagree or if you think that's not going to happen. I know DY, Steven, a couple of other people are usually always, very, very active in the comments. Join in the conversation, guys, with them, and let me know. Let your thoughts be heard on what you think the Chicago Cubs should do or should not do. This is the number one spot for all things Chicago Cubs. So I want to make sure that you guys feel comfortable leaving comments below. Now, with that being said, listen, Cody Bellinger turns 31 years old next season. Cody Bellinger is hitting well below average power. Cody Bellinger is also hitting well. She's shown well below plate discipline. His defense in center field also is not what it once was either. Um, he also did not have good success in the postseason hitting for New York this past season. His speed is simply above average, nothing more there. And again, he's probably going to be asking somewhere around 25 million a year and looking at 5+ years. Again, I just don't know that Cody Bellinger is worth what he may be asking for. Now, is it worth having a conversation? Sure, absolutely. Would Cody Bellinger absolutely be welcome back to Chicago if he came back on a more favorable team deal? Sure, absolutely. But at the same time, the Chicago Cubs need to look forward. You have a lot of young talent that is untapped potential that you could tap into. Bringing somebody like Cody Bellinger back actually takes ABs away from. If we're not going to go get a for sure superstar to play right field, then just put Seiya back out there at right field. Let him play right field every day. He learned his lesson. He got spanked twice. Like I said, he's basically been made into a DH. But like I said, if like I said, Seiya Suzuki played a lot better at right field this past season, especially after Kyle Tucker went down with injury. So again, I'm of the mindset he's serviceable at right field. You could put Seiya out there at right field. I don't necessarily know that you need to have Cody Bellinger back for his defense. Now, again, his bat is something that, like I said, I think had the Chicago Cubs kept Cody Bellinger and had Kyle Tucker, that would have paid dividends for this team. I think the Chicago Cubs probably still would be playing baseball right now had they done that and made sure that they kept Kyle Tucker and Cody Bellinger. But then you look and you say, okay, well, what do we do with Seiya Suzuki? Well, him and Ian Happ split time. Albeit Ian Happ is once again up for another Gold Glove, but Seiya also can play left field too. So again, like I said, to me, I look at it like you could have split time between these guys and also had them split time at DH and really, really, really let these guys work together. And also, instead of having to get Justin Turner, you could have then had Cody Bellinger also play first base and split first base with Michael Busch. So again, there was more than enough opportunity for these guys to work together. I do not think the Chicago Cubs needed to trade Cody Bellinger, and a lot of people bemoan the fact that the Chicago Cubs traded Cody Bellinger, especially when he went off and hit 3 home runs in one game against the Chicago Cubs in New York. But at the same time, again, he is, fading. His star is starting to dim. His starlight is starting to dim in the league. Cody has had some great years. He is an MVP. He is, a great hitter. He's done a lot in this league already and accomplished a lot in this league already. But again, I'm starting to buy into the mindset of maybe we do start letting our young guys play. Maybe we do allow these young talents to see more time. And again, I'm of the mindset now that outside of getting a bona fide superstar out there in the outfield, let your young guys play. Let your young guys play. Stop taking the bats out of their hands because again, you've invested in them. It's time to see what they can become. I mean, never would I say take a page out the White Sox book, but I mean, the White Sox had their young talent really, especially Colson Montgomery, really come through and show you what the Chicago White Sox could potentially be if this young core continues to mesh together. And I mean, it could be scary. It could be scary if they hit on a couple of pitchers. They have the defense that they're just young. They have the defense that can really do something in the league. In my estimation, you give it another 1 to 2 years, and the White Sox are going to be back in the postseason, probably wild card first, but they'll be back in the postseason. Like I said, because those young guys, their stars are rising, and they're showing you what they're capable of. And the Chicago Cubs have young stars too, Matthew Shaw, PCA, as well as Moises Ballesteros, as well as Owen Casey, and as well as Kevin Alcantara, which we have updated news on Kevin Alcantara too, which was so weird, came out of nowhere. But I do want to address you guys about the Chicago Cubs Milwaukee Brewers rivalry, but we'll talk about that after this. I have been talking ad nauseum, and I still will continue to talk about the product, the brand that has changed my life and can change yours too. What's that product? It's Dubby. It's an all natural energy supplement that you can take on the daily to help you get through those urges, those moments when you want to nap, then when you hit the cliff, or if you had a long night the night before and need to get through another crazy day of the hustle and bustle, the 9 to 5, whatever you got going on. Dubby is your energy drink. That's right. Not to mention, when you buy a container of Dubby, it actually equals out to almost $1 per drink. You can mix it in with whatever you want, whether that be a juice, whether that be a water, whether that be some type of other energy flavored drink, whatever you want, you can mix Dubby with it and it will do the trick for you. Guys, I don't understand what you're waiting on. Dubby takes care of everything for you. All you have to do is go on to the Dubby website and place your order. And at this time, when you do that, all you have to do is put in Cubs Central Pod 2024. That's right, Cubs Central Pod 2024. And you get 10% off on your Dubby order. That's right. Listen, guys, I'm telling you right now, Jitterless Energy. They have all different types of different flavors for you. Dubby has what you need. Be better with Dubby. Speaking of our young talent, it was announced earlier today that Kevin Alcantara will undergo offseason surgery, a source confirmed to Marquee Sports Network. Alcantara posted a photo of himself on a hospital bed to his Instagram story this morning. Apparently, the number 5 prospect is expected to be back for spring training of 2026. Again, like I said, Kevin, it looks like it was some type of hernia surgery that Kevin Alcantara had to have done. And maybe that explains why he was on the bench but not playing during the postseason. So, again, like I said, I mean, also it was the postseason and they weren't going to give him that spot, at least not yet, those ABs. But again, like I said, Kevin Alcantara did is having postseason surgery, offseason surgery. But he should be good to go. It was a hernia, apparently. It was core muscle surgery. So I guess it was, like I said, that's considered a hernia surgery. Sports hernia is what it is called. He underwent successful surgery to repair that sports hernia today. He posted to his Instagram. So he might be sore for a little bit, but he'll be back on his feet in probably about a month or so and back out there getting ready for next season. Should the Cubs not re-sign Kyle Tucker, it probably will end up being an opportunity for him to to carve out a role. So like I said, that was just that part. Now, the last part that I want to address with you guys, I want to talk with you guys about this Cubs Brewers thing. Last week I went off on the Milwaukee Brewers and their fan base in particular, which they still are classless, and they proved it again with that video of that woman in Milwaukee threatening to call ICE on a Latin fan of the Dodgers just because he was trolling them because the Dodgers was beating the Brewers. Man, like I said, she called them all types of names and then threatened to call ice on him. That's the Brewers. I want to talk to the Chicago Cub fans that love this C like I love this C. And I want to tell y'all, man, be better than that. Be better than that. We ain't got to be petty. The Brewers have no history, no championships, no legacy, no nothing. Again, like I said, and they're a game away from being put out. Their World Series was beating us in the National League Division Series. That's just facts. I mean, like I said, the whole L flag troll, I thought it was classless, thought it was tasteless. But I also think it's tasteless and classless if Chicago Cub fans consistently have the Brewers' names in their mouths. I mean, because let's be honest. Right now, as of right now, if we're talking honestly, the Brewers have the better organization. They just do. We might have won the season series by a hair, but when it came down to it, the National League Division Series, they beat us. Their manager is probably going to end up getting manager of the year again. And on top of that, they won more games than us. They were able to put together streaky streaks that allowed them to finish the season ahead of us. We are trying to catch up to where the Brewers are as an organization. So with that being said, I don't think we have much room to be trying to troll them right now, especially if we ain't the ones that's beating them. Now, if it was the Cubs beating the Brewers, I obviously troll on. But it's not us. And I don't like piggybacking off of the Dodgers' success. Now, silently, did I want the Dodgers to beat the Brewers? Absolutely. Am I excited that the Brewers are pretty much going to get put out the postseason? Yeah, personally, I really don't care. Our season is done. I'm focused on what the Chicago Cubs are trying to accomplish and how are we going to get better around the margins so that we are ready to face the Brewers next season and beat the Brewers next season and beat the Dodgers and beat the Phillies and beat the Marlins and beat the Pirates and beat the Reds and beat the Cardinals and beat the Mets and beat everybody that we're going to see and face. That's what I care about. I don't care that, about this. Our postseason's done. Now it's time to look forward to next season. Leave the Brewers to their misery. They're a miserable team. Leave the Brewers to their misery. They're going to cry. They're going to whine. They're going to complain. That's what they do. But we got to be better as an organization, as a fan base. I don't care about the Brewers. That's just my take on things. Let me know your thoughts below, guys. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate you guys. What do you think about Cody Bellinger potentially coming back to the Chicago Cubs? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? Also, let me know your thoughts on Kevin Alcantara's supposed surgery that he had. It was successful. And do you think he's carved out enough of himself for a role for himself this next season playing in the majors? And then last but not least, what are your thoughts on this Milwaukee Brewers Chicago Cubs rivalry? Do you think the Cubs fans are doing a little bit too much trying to troll, riding off the success of the Dodgers, or what? Let me know below your thoughts. I appreciate you guys so much. Until next time, go Cubs, go. Peace.
Thank you for watching another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, the #1 spot for all Chicago Cubs content. Remember to like, share, subscribe for more Cubs content.